Did you know that in the UK, disabled people or people with ill health are more likely to find themselves homeless?
So this is the shed at the bottom of my parents' garden that I'm currently living in.
Show me inside.
20-year-old Ash is living in an outbuilding in his dad's garden. There's no heating, bathroom or running water.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be talking about the lack of accessible housing in the UK. A recent report shows that in England, only 7% of homes have minimal accessibility features, and in Scotland, only 0.7% of local authority housing is wheelchair accessible. This is unbelievable and horrendous. Disabled people exist, and we need someone to live too. The figures for Wales and Northern Ireland weren't included. What are the issues surrounding a lack of accessible housing? A report produced by researchers at the University of Bristol and the University of Leicester shows that between 2018 and 2022, in England, households accepted as homeless by reason of physical ill health or disability increased by 73%. Also, 82% of people experiencing homelessness in England have received a mental health diagnosis. What are the factors and barriers that lead to homelessness? There's a shortage of accessible homes, especially homes containing ramps, lifts, mobility aids, and lowered surfaces, which are essential to people with certain disabilities.
Imagine having to do this every single day to get in and out of the place you live, every time you need the toilet or a drink. His previous council provided a property so unsuitable for a wheelchair, it left him feeling helpless.
Also, temporary accommodation, such as hostels, can be unsuitable environments for some disabled people or people with other conditions. Noisy homeless hostels can overwhelm people with neurodevelopmental conditions. Another barrier is that it's difficult to get a diagnosis of a medical condition by a GP. The diagnosis is needed so that the person can get support from the council and other bodies. Additionally, social and economic barriers contribute to this issue as well. The poverty rate for disabled people in the UK is 32%, which is 12% higher than the general population. That's a shame. Also, disability employment rates are 53% compared to the general population employment rates of 83%. These statistics are shocking. Disabled people often face discrimination in their workplaces, and there's a lack of reasonable adjustments as well. This means that they're often faced with their jobs, where they can't find a suitable job that will accommodate them, due to negative attitudes about disability and bias. Unfortunately, there's discrimination against disabled people in many areas of society, and not enough progress has been made towards improving disability rights. What is the impact of not living in an accessible home? These are my thoughts. Living somewhere that isn't accessible can worsen the person's health and disability, and it can negatively impact their mental health as well.
I ended up hospitalised because I tried to take my own life due to just being so lonely and isolated and anxious and just scared, and I didn't want to keep living like that, and I could see no way out.
Additionally, living somewhere that isn't accessible can mean that a disabled person has a lack of independence. If they live with their family members, this means they have to rely on them for help, or if they have carers, they have to rely on the carers for help. However, not all disabled people have a support system. Many disabled people are struggling.
I'm in my bedroom, which really should be used for the dining room. I get stuck all the time and I have to ask my mum for help. I can't.
They're waiting for a grant from the council to adapt it, but in the meantime, with no downstairs bathroom, Finlay has to go to the toilet in the kitchen.
So this is my commode, which I have to use to go to the bathroom, and it's not ideal for a 16-year-old boy to be using it.
Another problem is that inaccessible homes can lead to the person being more likely to have an injury or accident because of the unsafe environment. Recently, there was a story in the Guardian newspaper about disabled families in temporary accommodation at Travelodge Hotel in Enfield. They're being forced to move again to accommodate guests for a Beyoncé concert. This is horrible. A mother with twin autistic sons said that the council failed to extend her stay in the hotel. She had to stay in the lobby with all her possessions until another room could be arranged for her. That's disgraceful. Also, there's a wheelchair user living in the hotel with his family. The wheelchair user lost his rented accommodation due to a fire. He has been living in the hotel since last August with his family. That's an incredibly long time to live in a hotel. and the council needs to do better to make sure he has an appropriate place to live. Disabled people are being treated in a degrading way, and they haven't been given any stability. The government and the council cares more about a concert than disabled people's lives and well-being. My thoughts overall. The UK pretends that disabled people don't exist, and not enough accessible homes are being built. This is unacceptable. The government needs to do better because disabled people are like everyone else. However, this has been a problem with previous governments as well. The discrimination against disabled people and those who are ill needs to stop. This is all ironic because in the spring budget, the Chancellor spoke about the government's plans to get more disabled people into work, but the government isn't addressing the real issues that prevent many disabled people from working. For example, if a disabled person is homeless, how can they work? Actions. The report calls for improvement in housing alongside with support, including tackling the postcode lottery. The postcode lottery is where some areas get more support than others, especially wealthy areas. The report also highlights that it's important to address the diversity and needs of an individual. Disability is the only minority that anyone can join at any time of their lives. So that's another reason why accessible homes are important. Also, when people become elderly, they often struggle with mobility, so they may need an accessible house as well. The UK criticises other countries about human rights violations and about how they treat their disabled people, but are we doing any better? Thank you for watching my video. If you have any thoughts about the lack of accessible homes, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and hit the bell to get notified when I upload new videos. I'll see you next time. Bye!